Hello once again, RotoBallers. We are officially 11% of the way into the 2025 NFL season, and fantasy football, it's as much about the journey as it is about the destination. It's important to celebrate each and every single battle inside the war of attrition that is the fantasy football season. And yes, fantasy football, it is a weekly contest, and not to be cliche, but you have to take it one game at a time. If you're like me and you have that 1 week at a time mindset, that means you are all about that DST streaming lifestyle. And here at RotoBaller, we have you covered with 5 defenses that you can stream in week number 3. Starting with the Minnesota Vikings as they take on the Cincinnati Bengals. With the loss of Joe Burrow, Jake Browning will now be given the keys to the Bengals offense. Now, to Browning's credit, he performed well last week, completing 65.6% of his passes for 241 yards. He also kind of threw 3 interceptions and is now stationed behind an offensive line that has conceded 6 sacks in just 2 games. To further complicate things, Browning and the Bengals face a Vikings team that knows how to get after the opposing quarterbacks. Brian Flores, he is notorious for dialing up pressure, and just last week, the Vikings sacked Michael Penix Jr. 3 times and held the lefty to 13 of 23 passing for 135 yards, and now they have 5 sacks on the season. That's not exactly a good thing going for Browning right now. Now, with pressure, often turnovers accompany that. And while the Vikings have just 2 turnovers this season, they did lead the NFL last season with 33 takeaways, 24 interceptions, and 9 fumble recoveries. How about another defense to stream? Let's stick with the matchup here. J.J. McCarthy, he suffered a sprained ankle and he's going to be missing multiple weeks now. That means Carson Wentz is back in the NFL and starting on Sunday. Now, why is J.J. McCarthy out? Well, I'm not saying it's because the 53% pressure rate he faced or the 6 sacks that he took, but I'm not saying that either. McCarthy has been getting that Joe Burrow treatment this season, and through 2 contests, he's already been sacked on 9 occasions. Granted, some of those sacks, they are on McCarthy there, but 9 sacks in 2 games. Trey Hendrickson has to be licking his chops, looking to improve upon his 2 sacks in which he's already registered. Now, it has been a while since Wentz played meaningful snaps, but the last time he had more than 5 dropbacks in a game, he was sacked 4 times in a 38-0 meaningless game in week number 18. Now, another part of this equation is the Bengals secondary, and Cincinnati's defense. They have forced 4 interceptions this season, which makes them a great start against Carson Wentz and the Vikings. How about another great start? Let's kind of keep this whole thing going, this full circle type motion, and let's go with the Atlanta Falcons as they take on the Carolina Panthers. Atlanta, they are coming into this contest completely shutting down Justin Jefferson and the Minnesota Vikings just a week ago. Atlanta, they got after McCarthy early and often, sacking him half a dozen times and putting pressure on more than half of his snaps. In 2 contests, the Falcons have forced 4 turnovers and recorded 7 sacks, resulting in 46 yards of sack yardage. For the Panthers, they need to find a way to hold up against this pressure because Bryce Young has thrown 3 interceptions thus far this season and he has lost a fumble while being sacked on 4 occasions. As it stands, heading into Monday Night Football's conclusion of week number 2, Atlanta, they are the number 2 defense in the National Football League, number 4 scoring defense, number 2 passing defense, 5th in sacks, and tied for 3rd in turnovers. Let's keep the good times rolling here. Let's talk about another streaming defense, and let's talk about the Indianapolis Colts as they head down to Tennessee to take on the Titans. Now, the Titans, they have improved their offense, going from 12 points in week number 1 to 19 points in week number 2. Heck, it only took Alec Ayamaner 6 quarters to tie Treylon Burks' career touchdown total. Now, Ayamaner, he's starting to look like a legit weapon. Hey, shout out to my boy there from Medicine Hat, Alberta. Now, he leads all rookies right now in air yard market share at 40.1%, and he's sitting just 1 reception behind Calvin Ridley for the Titans team lead. As for the quarterback play, Cam Ward, he's going to get there. He's just not there yet. Through the rookie's first 2 career starts, he's completed just 50.8% of his pass attempts for 287 yards. That's 143 yards per game. See, I can do math, mother. Now, Ward, Maybe one of the reasons why he's not getting that passing yardage is because he is under duress. He has been sacked 11 times, and that is not there to help his development. We joke about Joe Burrow. This is like some David Carr-esque type sack total going on here. However, I'm not sure if the emergence of a second dependable weapon will be enough, considering the Colts held the Miami Dolphins to just 8 points and grounded a very good Broncos offense to 206 passing yards. In the run game, Indianapolis, they held J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey to 84 yards on 19 attempts. While the Colts only have 3 sacks this season, they have held teams to 169.5 yards per game while forcing 3 interceptions and recovering a fumble as well. And for the final DST start of the week, let's go with the Seattle Seahawks as they take on the New Orleans Saints. Seattle, they are coming into this one as one of the most underappreciated defenses in the NFL. Only the Jacksonville Jaguars have more interceptions than the Seattle Seahawks, who have registered 4, all by different players, I may add. In week number 1, Aaron Rodgers, he had a big game against the New York Jets. In week number 2, Rodgers was held to like 200 yards passing on 18 of 33 passing, throwing a pair of interceptions. Now, on passes that went more than 10 yards, Rodgers completed just 22% of those passes for 42 yards total. Spencer Rattler, he was more efficient in week 2 than he was in week 1. He completed 73.5% of his passes a week after being held to 58.7. Rather, he was also sacked 3 times against the 49ers in week 2. Yet when we do the math, the quarterback rating itself was eerily similar, 57.6 versus 57.5. Now heading into the Monday Night Football's kickoff, the Seattle Seahawks ranked 5th in DVOA and 7th overall defensively, ranking 7th against the run and 12th against the pass. If you haven't already done so, hit the like and follow buttons, and be sure to head to RotoBaller.com for all the latest news and fantasy analysis. And we'll see you next week.